During this week's video, we install a Badland winch mount and a Badland winch on the back of our Chevy truck for the off-road wrecker project. Welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful morning here in Minnesota, and we're gonna start working on that off-road wrecker project again. Here's the frame. We have been gifted with a front axle to do the solid axle swap, but we don't have that yet. We do have a couple other goodies that I want to start putting on this frame though. We need to get the frame in the garage, but first this guy needs a cup of coffee, so let's go get that. We need to do some jerry rig action to get this frame back in the garage. And when we get it in the garage, we're going to start working on the back half, because we have nothing for the front yet. So let's start in the back. Go for a ride? Should we go for a ride? Huh? Should we go for a ride? Look at my guy. He's fishing out his Jeep boat. Are you catching any fishies? All right, we're loaded with caffeine, back from our coffee break. Now we got the Jeep hooked up. We're gonna do a little crane action with the Badland soft shackle, the Badland winch snatch block. This video is sponsored to you from Harbor Freight. Well, not really, but Harbor Freight, if you're watching, if you want to sponsor any of our videos, we use your products for things that they're not intended for. Well, kind of. We're recovering a frame stuck in these pine trees. All right, let's jerry rig this little crane action up. Get this frame closer to the garage. That's the reason I have a stinger on the Jeep Liberty. Well, not really, but it's working out pretty good. Let's get this to the garage. But first, I have a different idea what I need to do with this frame. The honey-do list is also in play for today. So therefore, I have an idea what to do with this frame before we throw it in the garage. Just wait, you might laugh. Well, there you go. I'm doing the honey-do list. Got the frame booth. Painting the shutters on the house. Thought, why not use the frame? Working pretty good. So let's get these painted up and then we can get the frame moved into the garage. Well, here's what we got going on. We're gonna be putting the universal winch mount on the back of the frame. I thought we'd start in the back as we don't have anything to start on the front yet of this frame for the wrecker project. So therefore we'll work on the back half. And the second reason I'm starting on the back is because this is gonna be the starting point. The back half here is gonna be the starting point to where we're gonna mount the boom for the wrecker. So I need to know where the tail, the back half of the wrecker is gonna be before I mount the boom on the frame. So we'll put the plate in, we'll burn this in, and it looks like it's gonna fit just perfect. I already trimmed the back half off a little bit to kind of tuck this plate underneath the frame, and it's actually connected to the rear existing, the receiver hitch mounts on the rear here. So it looks like we're gonna be able to burn this plate right into the old receiver hitch mount. We'll probably have to box in the back here a little bit to complete and to strengthen, to gusset the rear. But for now, let's just burn this plate in. You have to clean these old mounts up quite a bit because if you've noticed, this frame is quite rusty. So let's clean up the plate a little bit on the edges to get this paint off and clean up the back of the old hitch mount as well. All right, we got the plate cleaned, the frame cleaned, good enough. But we're playing a little Jenga over here, so let's get the welder out and tack this thing in. And if we're feeling good about it, we're just gonna burn it in. Well, we got the winch plate burned in. We're gonna add some plates here. But while I was burning the plate in, I was thinking to myself, why is this going together so well? Like, I made 2 little cuts and it fits perfect. Sometimes you just get lucky, I guess. And it made me wonder, am I messing something up? But no, it just worked out mint. So let's make these little plates on the sides, and box this winch plate in, then we can get the winch out and see what we gotta do up in this area. But first, the little plates. Uh-oh, it's happening again. I got this plate for the YJ frame repair. You guys have seen me use this frame repair on a lot of projects now, but still have some more of it. And guess what? I'm only gonna have to make 1 cut to make this work. Because check it out. It's like the perfect fit. Will tickle me pink. Look how good those caps look. Really seals the deal on the back winch mount. Now let's focus on what we gotta do up here. Well, we notched the cross member out and it works. Besides, I forgot there's a handle. So the hole is not big enough that we cut in that cross member. Yeah, just a little too tall on the old handle to the cross member area. But otherwise that looks good. I'm gonna cut up through here into the hole and back around and down, and that will give us enough room to get our mitt in here down above, because I plan on putting a bumper in the back, so we're gonna have to reach down and flippity doo-dah. So we got to make enough room here to do that. So let's cut this section out, see if we can get this winch mounted on this custom back winch action. Well, we got the cross member notched out for the handle. Then I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the situation here, and I'm looking over from this angle, and I'm thinking, when I put the bumper on here, we're not gonna be able to slide winch up and down. So we're gonna have to continue to cut this all the way through. Because right now, to get the winch in, I kinda have to, but I can't do the angle finagle if a bumper's right here. Continue to notch the top here so we can just slide the winch action up and down. Because we're gonna have a big old bumper right here. I don't know what that looks like. I'm hoping that we can use the one that was on here and fabricate it to kind of flush mount. Keep this all flat back here. So let me continue to cut. Then let's go find the bumper that was on here and see if we can modify it to fit inside the frame rails instead of way out here like it was before. So more cutting. Next time you see me, I'll be searching for the bumper that was back here, which is, you know, just behind the garage. Here is the bumper that was off the truck originally. Not sure if this is gonna work or not, but what do we have to lose? I think we should just cut it up and see if we can make this work on the back of this frame. Check it out. Look at all the water that was in that bumper. We just cut the top half off of this bumper, which was the tilt bed on here. But man, it's all full of water. A different term for water weight. Now let's continue to stub the bumper so we can get it inside the frame rails. Well, I sit here at a loss. Not really feeling it. You can't really tell from here, but this side, you know, it's all right because this is kind of flush, but then what do I do in this area? I could sheet it with another bumper with some other bumper material to kind of cap that in, but yeah. And I'm gonna have to bolt the bumper in if I do want to remove the winch because that receiver sits so far back over the top of that winch. So initially I thought I could just over the top, but not. So I'd have to bolt this bumper in. I really don't know if I want to bolt it in either. It's all possible. I have to go get some bolts, some grade 8 bolts. So I'm just gonna sit here and stare at it a little bit longer. Maybe do some more cutting. Maybe call it a night. Or the best move would be call it a night and just refresh the next day. Usually the best results that way, but I'm a little stubborn. I kind of want to get this video out to you guys and kind of want to finish this back half up so then we can focus on the boom. Well, after a lot more cutting on the bumper and my hair, we got this bumper to fit pretty well. At one point, I was thinking this thing was a no-go, but after chopping it up quite a bit and flipping it around, we ended up using more of those YJ plates to mount the bumper on the side. We are gonna have to add a couple more brackets, at least one more, maybe on the top here and bolt that into the frame. But for now, that's all the time we have for this video, and I like how it turned out for a free bumper. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.